Jerseys look mighty fancy. I wouldn't hate one of those.
And here we see, though, just off of a fresh 1-1 against SPT, we have the 1. So there you have the comparison of whether that's a good thing, because you are currently warmed up, or is it a bad thing, because you have just played games and you might be a bit tired. However, in this two-game series format, fatigue is very unlikely to become a factor.
I think so too. They are a bunch of Heroes of the Storm fanatics, I would say. Otherwise, you probably couldn't go pro. So playing 4 games in a row, despite the high level that these Chinese games are played at, I think should be fine in terms of fatigue. But you're totally right. I think the draw against SBT should definitely have given them a little bit of confidence, because SBT still remains one of the hardest teams to beat. And taking one map off them is certainly a big success, especially since SBT wasn't able to get a win yesterday. So the 1 now in a pretty good lead. Can they do it against TeamNut? Although TeamNut doesn't have a lot of data to choose from, their KDA of 5 is quite respectable.
Well, the fact is, with the exact same amount of games played, Nut have more points than Super Perfect Team. Because they have 3 points, Super Perfect Team have 2. Nut are only 1 point behind Challenge, the 1 Beyond the Game, and KT. And it's going to be the 1, though, taking us to the first map, and it's going to be Sky Temple.
Just let this game go a little crazy and let it be a 1-1. And I think both teams would be very happy with their progress to compared to some of the other teams.
I mean, a 1-1 would be okay for the 1. It would put them in in first place with 5 points, and we would have a 4-way tie for second place, which would be pretty decent. We're only a couple of games in, ladies and gentlemen, so it's going to be a while before we get like pack leaders emerging. But for now, it is going to be Team Nut trying to show up for the 1 and show that not only have they entered into the league to show off their skills, but they're also here to try and potentially compete for the Eastern Clash.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And this is the first time that Team Nut has to go against one of those established teams, you know, with a lot of expertise and a lot of experience under their belt. You look a little confused. Has the owl been acting up?
My light has just started flashing. Like, my house light. It's off now. Cool.
But there's no wasp.
That there.
That's the most important thing. No wasp.
No wasp. Apparently wasps aren't that common around here. False widows are. If you know what those are. A false widow spider. You aware of those?
Yeah. I'm not a big fan of spiders.
Quite common around here.
Unless I play Nazebo. I don't like him.
Neither am I, but I have to have my window open for temperature-wise. So if I suddenly fall over on the floor, you know why. Either way. With Malfurion and Genji removed, this opens up heroes like Garrosh, more of the standard stuff. On this map, Sky Temple, Dahaka might even see higher priority.
Yeah. I mean, Dahaka just lost a game for SPT, but that doesn't say much about the quality of the hero per se, especially on Sky Temple, which is probably one of his stronger maps. Have we seen Abathur at all in HGC China, by the way, or has it always been banned?
Yeah, we did see it. We saw a Luthal play it.
Yes, you're right. You're right.
It was good. I think that's the game they lost though. But that was the game they won, and they lost the other one.
Yeah,
I think so. I think I'm right. I'm probably wrong, but I think I'm right. I think I'm wrong. But either way, Hanzo being picked up as the first pick. Now the 1 have their response. They could, in theory, just go double frontline straight away here and go like Dahaka, Garrosh, or something like that.
Right, for a moment, I wasn't sure which of the 2 new teams used the Dragon Strike consecutively yesterday. I think it was A-Team, though, with Olele.
It was.
And,
that was a thing.
Don't want to see that again. The Blood Elf skinned Hanzo just basically reminded me of the terror in a negative way that was the Chinese Dragon's Arrow. The Dragon Strike, sorry.
There appears to be another sponsor
on that jersey. Does it say
on the neck?
7 Milk?
Maybe it's folded. I can't tell.
7 Milk. Maybe someone can do the Google.
Do the Google.
And let us know if there's a company called 7 Milk.
Other search engines are available. As we see Deckard Kane and Johanna, preemptively Johanna, against a Garrosh that could be picked up later.
Yeah, I like Johanna. You know, the moment you see a Maiev go through the ban phase and you see it picked up first by the enemy team, Johanna is never a bad call. First of all, you can really mess up with Maev's positioning. You can keep her stunned and CC'd. By the same token, you can also just walk out of the Warden's cage and maybe peel for heroes you otherwise wouldn't be able to reach thanks to that Iron Skin. So I like Johanna for multiple reasons here, especially against a heavy CC team that TheOne seems to be going for.
And now TheOne looking for their next ban. Solo laners would make sense. Malthael also makes sense. Percentage damage, always wonderful. Neither team really prioritizing globals. Currently, the only global in the game is Hanzo level 20, which might not even be hit on this map.
You're right. I think Sky Temple can be a tricky map if you rely on late game heroes, or at least heroes that thrive in the late game, like I'm just naming a couple that come to my mind. Nazeebo, for example, right? He's not really part of the pro scene, but it's a very risky endeavor, even in Hero League and Team League, if you go for those heroes like Nazeebo, Kel'Thuzad, because if you fall behind early, the enemy team maintains a structural lead by just occupying temples and destroying structures over and over again. There is no way you can make it in time, and even if you make it to 20, you're probably going to be so far behind that it's already too late.
With Karazim banned out, more support choke coming in here. We're down to the likes of the Uther, the Rhaegar, either of which would work pretty well with this Maiev. Would be completely acceptable. Once again, we're pre buffs onto Rhaegar, so he might be a little bit less likely. See Muradin coming in here.
Remember what happened a couple of times yesterday when teams actually played against TheOne? Some of the teams would ban the Sergeant Hammer. And I'm still waiting, or we're still waiting, for the first Sergeant Hammer appearance in China. It was banned a couple of times, but who is brave enough to basically play it for the first time and rely upon it?
Volskaya is the main map you would play that on due to the area control you can have on with that hero. TheOne unfortunately will not be picking it this game because they need a support. Also, I forgot Alex Draza. There's a good chance they'll pick that as well. As TeamNut need to finish out their draft, need a solo laner. Sonya's still available. Dahaka, I would just pick Dahaka for the global at this point. With Blaze already stolen away. They could pick Medivh if they feel comfortable playing it. Something else to deal with the portal.
It looked like Seaman a little bit. It looks like a marine outfit for me. You know, like the celebration outfit you wear on sea if you're on a ship. The jersey that TeamNut has.
Oh! I was really wondering what you were getting at there, and I was like, which hero looks like a sailor's outfit? I don't know.
I'm sorry, I saw the confused look on your face, and I'm like, oh man, I should probably specify what I'm talking about, referring to.
You worded that very weirdly. But either way, we have a Leoric, decent solo laner, percentage damage, absolutely wonderful, pretty decent rotations as well, and Junkrat, lots of area control, which is wonderful, and AoE, and we're seeing Stukov as the support here. Really like that. Putting a silence inside the Warden's cage is really good.
Yeah, really, really solid there. So the Stukov, always a happy side for me. Like, always a good side. I think the support is a little undervalued at the moment in China. I think he still brings so much to the table. We saw that in the first game that CE played today. You know, it's just really, really good to have that control, especially with or against the Maiev. That's the beauty of Stukov. You can play him really well against the Maiev, like we saw CE do. So you stop the follow-up combos after Warden's Cage, or you can just lay it into the Warden's Cage to basically prevent the enemies from escaping it or doing anything else to keep themselves alive.
Makes sense to me. So, overall, these two drafts, I'm going to be honest, both drafts look really good. TheOne is a beautiful setup style comp. They have great follow-up to the Warden's Cage. They have great protection for their backline. It looks really good. But on the other side, we have great poke potential behind a very stalwart front line and a great setup for the crazy amount of AoE that they have. Both of these drafts look pretty good. In a nutshell, I'm not really sure who I prefer.
It's a hard one for me. I'm just leaning a little bit towards TheOne here because they have a little bit more experience to make that Stukov work. Although we haven't seen a whole lot of Stukov coming in from ZJZ coming in to this phase. But, you know, let's see how it goes. TeamNut here on the left-hand side in blues with No on that Hanzo. We have FS on the Johanna. Feigi's playing Leoric. Oasis on the Junkrat this time around. And Atui is on the support role on the Decker Kane.
And on the right-hand side, it is going to be TheOne back again with Hugo on Blaze, Muggle on Jaina, Meng on Maiev, Hihi on Muradin, and ZJZ is playing the Stukov.
Definitely a fake Muggle now, confirmed. Twice in a row did he go for a mage, and he played a pretty decent one. He was part of his team's success there for quite a big part, and he really played an impactful role against SPT. Can he do it again? He's already going for a different build this time. It's always cool to see how Jaina players adjust their builds according to the team comps they're playing in and the map they're playing on. Very, very important here. Last time we went for the classic machine gun Frostbolt build, if you will, on the Jaina, with the Frostbolt range at level 1 and yada yada yada, you know, the cooldown reduction and the piercing Frostbolt at 4 and 7 respectively.
Lane setup's looking fairly normal, although Blaze is going to lose that watchtower as due to the rotation of FS. In the meantime, he holds mid. He will be slightly outranged by No, who is just playing very safe. I really like what they've done here, where basically Dekker's just left a load of potions and is just hoping that no one else takes a fight, so that the solo laner in that mid lane is going to have a reasonable time, because Fei has his own sustain.
Absolutely true. So here goes the prioritization on those Siege Giants. 3 members actually doing it for TeamNut, and Muradin, you know, he's a cheeky one. He likes to play this Muradin very aggressively, sometimes a little too aggressively when he gets taken out by his own recklessness. But for now, he's safe and sound. We see Maiev, by the way, going for this tether build that can be very devastating and very powerful in the later stages of the game. When 2 or more people are hit by 1 Umbral Bind, then you're going to get 1 stacks. The more stacks you get... Oh, never mind. Is he going to get it? No way that auto attack still landed past the gate.
They got him. Down goes Junkrat. First blood achieved for TheOne. That's unusual for TeamNut. They very usually get first blood themselves. So the question is, are they still a little bit shaky in terms of playing from behind? It's a very early game. It's not so bad, but they somehow, even in this early stage, managed to miss a lot of XP. They're going to miss another minion here. Overall, though, they're keeping up, kinda. We're just waiting for them to get in lane to soak the minions that they needed to be in range of. As you can see there, they get a big boost in XP, but they still have lost a lane or 2 of minions. Yeah, absolutely true. I agree. So they came back a little bit in experience here, but those early kills, especially in the solo lane, like the bottom here in Sky Temple, they really hurt because it needs a little bit of time to basically send someone into that solo lane. You might have already missed 1 minion wave, 2 minion waves at the very worst case scenario. In the meantime already, you can see a lot of potions being spread here, maximum of 5 here. The silence is good, it's riding on the Leoric, no Wraithwalk up to this point. It's able to get out though, Fei escaping. Nicely done here, and everything comes down again. Everyone is chill. In the meantime, Nut still a little bit behind in XP, but they're sort of back in lanes to soak mostly, except bot lane. Left unattended once again.
Yeah, now of course is when the 2 temples are active. It's always the top and middle one first, then we're going to have the second one at the bottom, and from there it basically has a little bit of a shifting pattern. Now, look at that zoning silence here from Stukov. Beautiful. There's no better scenario for ZJZ to drop that silence right now than with pushing with the mercenaries. Get a little bit of magic resistance there as well. Meng trying to get a couple of stacks for his Umbral Bind talent here at level 1. And TheOne, they're just playing this very coolly. And we're talking about this. 5 stacks already. That is an absurd amount for only 3 minutes and 35 into this game, Tetra. This Maiev, I'm calling it right now. She's going to hurt in the later stages.
She definitely is, and that is going to be a big problem if she can get everyone grouped up together. For now, though, Junkrat is doing a double lane soak here, trying to soak his team up to level 7 so they can try and contest. They're already holding both temples right now. That Hugo is only just delaying mid at the moment. Not really sure that TheOne are making the most of their level 7 advantage. Now level 7 is available for TeamNut. Can they try and make a play? Junkrat continues to do the mid-bot rotation, just fully committed to this XP at this point.
Yeah, he getting a little zoned out by Fei, who dropped the Drain Hope on Muradin. But he's back in good shape. Of course, the second win trade helps so much when it comes to Muradin healing out and healing up. If he dodges another Drain Hope, no he didn't unfortunately, then he could have been fine, but as it is, the Wraith Mock not available. Fei used it earlier, so clever cooldown counting coming in from TheOne, and they're basically smelling the chance to get another kill here. In the meantime, the response, though, really good for TeamNut, going for the double Siege Shine play.
Yeah, structure-wise, it actually, if you look at the fort health, worked out just only a little bit in favor of the one here, with their fort being a little bit higher health, and they were able to grab a tower or two in the meantime. But overall, TeamNut, they're stabilizing at least a little bit. They need to move into lanes again, though, get some actual XP, because you can see here, the one continuing to creep ahead. This could mean they will have 10 when the next objective spawns.
Yeah, it's absolutely true. Like, it's not like TeamNut is just giving up here. They're giving in. They're falling back whenever they see their opponents, which is sometimes a phenomenon you see with, you know, new teams when they face well-established names like the one. Oftentimes, you tend to have too much respect for your opponents. That's also what happens many times when, you know, teams play absolute veterans like Gen G. You tend to be like, no, can I really go for that kill? No, I'm going to play it safe. I'm going to be sorry. Better be safe than sorry. So yeah, TeamNut is having none of it, though. They're having none of it. They're stealing mercenary camps. They're going in aggressively, trying to invade. That's exactly what you need to do in order to persist in HGC China.
With FaZe soaking around near Hugo, he's already trading efficiently in terms of health, and is with that Neo Peasant's going to be able to take down minions as well. Here comes level 10. FS, can he get out of there through the Umbra Bind? There is the Iron Skin. Yes, he can, as he's able to pull back.
Able to pull back for now. Bottom lane, bottom half of the map is definitely dominated now by the one. They're trying to prevent their opponents from entering the boss area at any given point here. And why do they do that? Because they want to maintain control and vision over the bottom temple. They're trying to get the most of that. Level 10 is here now for their opponents, though. For TeamNut, can they make something happen right now? See the Dragon's Arrow, we see the Riptire, all the standard picks, and the March of the Black King for Leoric.
That fort barely survives. The march is interesting here, but it makes a reasonable amount of sense. Muradin and Maiev can leave everyone else as the bunker for the counterplay, so maybe that little bit of extra damage might be what they need. We will see. As we see, this fort will actually probably die. Hugo can try and react to it. Those minions being MVP, they will actually protect that.
Yeah, the minions surviving for so long, but also the timing of the mercenaries here for the one is not ideal. It took a little long here, and Blaze is nowhere near to actually participate in that fight over the bottom temple. See no strange heroic ability choices here, by the way, for the one either. And Leoric ends up falling. The one, they weren't even trying to go for the temple. They're trying to go for kills and structures.
Someone has to die. It might as well be Leoric, but it's still unfortunate. It's 3 kills to 0. Not where Nut are used to being. They did take down bottom fort and are sieging top fort, but it's still going to be 2 forts to 0 due to this incredible Merc push and multiple members, which Meng coming up as well, rotating top. Hugo and Meng will easily take this down, as Hihi, though, misses the Storm Bowl. Ring of Frost is good. Junkrat in trouble, just immediately drops the Riptide, takes it down. The sleep is so good. ZJZ in serious trouble, tried to escape. He was able to dodge the custom bind, but here comes no beautiful scatter arrow anti-heal with the Emerald Cube, and Hihi will likely also fall. No, they're going to let him go and immediately take the boss.
Yeah. They make a good call here. Maybe, who knows, they would have gotten the kill on the Muradin, but it would have definitely, you know, taken a couple more moments to catch up to him. So with that time, of course, being lost, then I don't think they would have had enough time to even start that boss. Level 13 is here around the corner, but no Stukov, no support, and Jaina only just respawned. And I think against the racing potential of a Hanzo, they cannot hold this. He, as much as he would like to jump in there and do dwarf things, he just can't do it. And they're going to have to defend the boss.
They actually got that while Junkrat also defended top. It took quite a lot of damage, but he at least cleared up the lane and gathered his team some more XP. It's the one. Tiny bit ahead in XP now. The gap has been closed, but now with this boss pushing straight onto tier 2s, the one are going to be forced to react, which is going to give a little bit of soaking time over to TeamNut.
Yeah, they're going to have to allow TeamNut to catch up and experience even more, because 4 people are currently bound to the bottom lane. And look at what TeamNut is trying to do here. They're trying to make this middle push our reality. They're trying to get even more experience out of this. They're trying to catch up in the structures as well, because 2 forts are still standing for their opponents, the one, whereas only 1 fort is still left standing for themselves here. Are they going to get it? The Muradin is looking for an engage. Johanna getting caught by the Umbral Bind, but nothing's going to happen here. Johanna should be okay.
Yep. It is Johanna. With Junkrat pushing up top lane, that will be another fort going over to TeamNut, making it even on the fort count. And if they can push in mid, they might actually be able to take an advantage. Muradin, you can see here, able to just beat out Jaina in terms of stacking his Stormbolt quest.
Oh, those were the good days when Jaina was still in a tank, you know, in the previous phase. Now he's back on the ranged assassin for team A team.
Yeah, he swapped a lot of roles. He swapped from assassin to tank to assassin again. It was cool. As Faye this time able to back up. Hugo not able to do too much damage. The double temple phase looks like TeamNut might actually want to try and contest. They found this isolated Hugo, but they're not willing to overcommit. Looks like they're pretty happy to trade out.
Sure, all of a sudden, TeamNut is in a lead when it comes to structures. You know, that bottom fort is still standing, and they're going to be very happy to just split and trade the temples, right? Middle temple is still pretty much stacked on charges, so it's going to fire the laser beams right away onto the one's mid lane, and they're going to maintain a healthy, you know, minor but healthy lead in experience as well. TeamNut, they're not giving in, and what looked like an early game disaster for them, they turned into a mid-game comeback.
I hope TeamNut start a merch store, just because the sheer amount of t-shirt puns you can do.
I would want my uniforms there.
Exactly. I mean, just for starters, not just the uniforms, but like inspirational quotes where it has the team in like a really victorious pose with just like "nothing is impossible." As we see TeamNut, like you said, in control. They took down most of the entire front wall on that mid lane, which is pretty nice. Potential to set up for some catapults there later. Hanzo sees this happening, but they don't try any kind of contention, but they might try a wraparound gang. There's a lot of people hovering around this area. Junkrat's on the way as well. They mostly show, but Faye going very deep. But the Spirit of Vengeance, Meng disengages, and now Faye in danger. Wraithwalk again, just getting a nice ominous Wraith. Big pull-in. In comes Junkrat. The beautiful sleep, but the Riptide is denied to sleep again for the follow-up. In comes the Warden's Cage for the try and disengage, but ZJZ goes down. No, jumping over the wall, trying to escape a Hiki. And Hugo picking up the kill. It's a 2-for-2 right now as the fight continues. Meng dropping low, Spirit of Vengeance back in. Oasis is so low. Clutch heal by Atsui here as Johanna pulls back. Hiki dives deep, but does not land the Stormbolt with Meng and Hugo so low. They're trying to burn down Hiki, but he's just too tanky. It would be so hard to kill him here.
Yeah, the big advantage, of course, for TeamNut right now in that situation was the fact that they still had their support, you know, dropping potions left, right, and center to keep everybody sustained and in good condition. But man, I gotta say, TheOne turned this around pretty nicely. The initiation was so beautiful. I'm glad we're gonna take another look at that. Look at Faye with a masterful play here, baiting so many abilities onto himself, and then a massive swing. March of the Black King hitting everyone, but then came the good combo. And there goes one, there goes two against TheOne, but somehow, some way, Meng had enough damage to basically turn this around because the build he went for. Look at the damage of those tethers. Absolute insanity.
Dragon Arrow from downtown, Blessed Shield, and the Concussion Mine, Dwarf Toss, and Bolt of the Wardens. Meng escapes, Muradin escapes. He's getting chased by Faye. The Flaming Swipe has to be used for the disengage, and the Ring of Frost really preventing that chase, but Nut again in a good position, looking to move on to ZJZ here, pushing forward. Faye in a great position to try and body block him away as he gets caught in the Scroll of Sealing and taken out.
Yeah, beautiful kill there on the enemy support.
Another one.
Faye is not done yet. He's
going
to get the triple.
Another one. He goes down to the towers, but that's a 4-for-1 in favor of TeamNut.
Absolute nuts move there from Faye, going super ham on those members of TheOne, getting 1, 2, 3, and only then did he fall in his dying breath, though. They also made sure to take down Blaze as the fourth member, making it a clean quad kill. Tetcher, 20 seconds now on multiple members here for TheOne. Can they actually do it? Can TeamNut take another map of their opponents? No, they're not brave enough yet. I think other teams would have maybe tried to go for it, but without Leoric, although he comes back to life a little faster, they don't think they have enough damage. But maybe they can do it with a boss.
This is safer. They have Hanzo. They can burn this down super quick. So I really like this. They can try, maybe not even guaranteeing the push with the boss, but it's still setting them up for more stuff in the future. But you can see here, just such a clutch move. Leoric just dives straight past, finds an easy kill onto Jada, onto Muggle, and then the Drain finishes off the Muradin as well. Super nicely done. The boss is being ignored like we predicted, but the fact is, TeamNut are playing this slow, methodically, and they're soaking for 20. They're not wanting to throw on a boss push that might not work.
Oh man, on the one hand, the core looked so tempting, didn't it? Especially with that boss, I think they could have maybe made a little more of a push there, and if they caught another member, 2, 3 of TheOne, that would have been game, Tetra. But as you said, TeamNut, they're trying to play this slow and methodically. Level 20 is around the corner. On Sky Temple, if you have established yourselves that massive of a lead, I don't think it's going to be easy for the enemy team to come back here. So FS now on the Johanna, he's just trying to buy time, dismount their opponents. And nothing can take away the 20 from them anymore. It's there now. They're going to have a big advantage. They're going to take another keep sooner or later. Let's really hope that it's not going to bite TeamNuts later on for not finishing the game right here, right there.
As we see the Crocodile Temple being channeled through, doing a fair amount of damage onto that top keep, really putting on the pressure as level 20 is acquired. Level 19 just hit by the one. As TeamNut begin to posture. They're going to try and take this Bruiser Cap. It's very risky, but again, they have level 20.
Yeah.
They're just going to step straight into that Stuck of Silence. Backing up. Nice concussion mine. He's now in a rough position. He actually jumps into the Hanzo route, into the jump trap route.
Way.
They pick him off with the scatter arrow. That was incredibly lucky by Junkrat, or absolute clairvoyance as they move forward onto the key.
If you're a Hehe at this point, you're probably going to bite your keyboard right there, because there is no way you go for that jump over the wall and you expect to land in the steel trap. It's absolutely amazing. TeamNut takes another keep, and without the main tank on the side of the one, who's going to stop TeamNut from finishing this game?
They're trying to go for the core. They have the Bruiser Cap for the Spell Shield. Spell Shield expires. The Sleep gets 2 of the damage dealers. It buys them so much time. Riptide gets taken out, though. Good flailing swipe. This is starting to get pretty dicey. ZJZ is down, though. Johanna being a great frontliner here. Meg is doing all he can. Muggle is blasting abilities as much damage as he can possibly deal. But the core is down to 50%. Good charge by Blaze.
I'm not sure.
Buys them time. Johanna is being picked off by the core. Junkrat leaps over the enemies, but Muradin is down. They're running out of damage. A 2E, well known for damage output on that Deckard Kane. It's up to him. Scroll of Ceiling, and the Hanzo takes down the core, and TeamNut takes game number 1.
Not the